strategist, a supporter of US manufacturing, a productivity nerd, and a huge fan of social selling. Inger and I are very excited to have you join us today. This is our second installment of LinkedIn for Sales Pros. For those of you who are new to us, M&I University is a free online learning area, which is each of these classes are led by industry professionals. We share valuable insights on sales, marketing, supply chain, emerging trends. You can access our expert content anywhere or at any time, actually, at university.mni.net. And at M&I, we are otherwise known as Manufacturers News. We connect buyers and sellers through our directories. Industry Select is an industrial prospecting tool, and Industry Net is an industrial marketplace for sourcing parts and services. We are very proud to be collaborating with the Small Business Administration on their onshoring portal. But before we get into discussing LinkedIn strategies with Inger, a few requests for you. Please use the chat box for questions or comments. Feel free to mute yourself and turn off your cameras. The session is being recorded and will be available online. Thank you so much, Inger, for sharing your expertise once again. Please introduce yourself for those of us who don't know and take it away.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me, Katie. Um, that is part of my presentation, so let me dive right in. Um, Let me know when you can see my screen.
Can see it.
Okay, 1 second. I just need to move some things around because I had a little box open. Okay. Okay, so welcome to LinkedIn for Sales Pros, relationship driven selling in a digital age. This is workshop 2 of 2, and we're going to be speaking about from connections to conversations that convert, helping you use LinkedIn to start the right conversations that lead to real results. So, Zig Ziglar once said, if people like you, they'll listen to you, but if they trust you, they'll do business with you. And I don't know about you, but I love me some Zig. So, who am I? I am Inge van Roy. There are so many things that I can tell you about me, but the most important probably is that I am an Ubuntu enthusiast. I'm also a LinkedIn enthusiast. So let's jump in. Yet
I
about me.
hate videos. Now, you may be wondering, if I hate videos, what the heck am I doing here?
So there's so much that I can say, but I'm here to inspire you. There is a quote by Jim Rohn that I'd like to point out, and it says, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." As I mentioned, I'm an Ubuntu enthusiast. And so Ubuntu takes it much larger because it says, I am because we are. And I can honestly say that I've learned so much from all the people in my circle and everything I've experienced in my life. And this is why I am the person that I am today. So I'm sure you've noticed a shift in sales. And we're taking it now from handshakes to hashtags. LinkedIn has become the modern sales floor, and your profile is your first impression. So even though your handshake has moved online, your values don't really have to. So connection is the beginning. Communication builds trust, and collaboration drives results. And that's my 3 step strategy that I teach people that I work with, whether it's in a workshop or one on one coaching. Because I believe that people buy from those that they trust. So you need to think human and not hustle. So LinkedIn isn't where sales happen, it's where trust begins. Warm relationships lead to shorter sales cycles and long term clients. And cold messages are closed doors. So it's not just about who you know, but about who knows, likes, and trusts you. And I'm speaking about the KLT factor. You may have heard people refer to this before. I often do when I'm being interviewed, when I'm hosting workshops. I speak about the KLT factor because that is very important when it comes to social selling. Um, I'd like you to think about your last three sales wins and think about whether they happened through trust or tactics. I see someone dropped a comment. Yes, thank you, Katie. Um, yeah, like think about, did those things happen? Did those sales happen because of trust that you've built or through tactics that you've employed? I'd actually like to ask someone, Jerome, can you tell us when you think about your last three sales wins, um,
Yeah.
what what was it that helped you?
Um, well, in our business, it is, well, like any, like you said, it is about forming trust.
Mhm.
We do a lot with building the relationships and keeping the clients over time.
Right.
So, it's a wonderful product, but if I'm in there quite a bit talking with them, communicating with the client, then I build that trust with them, and they know they can reach out to me anytime. So I think it's not tactics. I don't use really tactics to get people
Yeah.
on board. That's how you have a shorter cycle with the client, right? You try to build the long term. So um, yeah, it's more of that trust. And I was just thinking about a couple that recently that are definitely trust based. Um, Not to go into details, but yeah, you're absolutely right about that.
Thank you, Jerome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Um, Katie, you and I had a conversation, and you spoke about a meeting that you had actually yesterday with the client. Um, and you said that it was shorter than what you thought it would be. Can you tell me what you mostly talk about when you speak with this particular client?
I don't know exactly which one you're talking about. Are you talking about a specific partner?
Yes, Charisse.
Okay. Um, so the question was,
The question is, what? Yes, you speak about IndustryNet and what you do at M&I, but what is the conversation? What is it
oh,
happened to?
sometimes where does it go? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have definitely personal conversations we have sometimes with customers. I like to get to know them on a personal level. So, yeah, we might have conversations about what the weather is like where we are, obviously, but also we talk about each other's kids. Like they know that my son's back on leave. So
Hmm.
they asked me about my kids, and I know that they had a house in an area that was hit by a storm. So I ask about that. But yeah, definitely it's not just business we talk about each other as well.
That's awesome, and that builds trust. That's what we're talking about today. So
Yeah.
thank you. So here's what we'll cover today. We'll talk about who you should build community with, where to begin, how to take actions today, how to take quick actions today, and then also my three-step framework. I'll just remind you about that because we spoke about that in workshop one, and then just some quick next steps as well. So let's jump right in. Um, Let me ask, can anyone, let me see. I see you, Catherine. um, Let me ask you a question. Who do you think you should build community with?
Everyone I encounter. But specifically for business, I need to be building community with my ideal client avatar, my dream client, and the adjacent communities around them.
Awesome. Say that again for the people in the back, please.
Everyone. No, my ideal client, my dream client, and the adjacent communities around them.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Catherine. Okay. So, spoiler alert, you don't just build community with people that are in your industry. A lot of people believe that they should go about it that way. A lot of people actually go on LinkedIn specifically to connect with people that are in the same industry as them. But the way that I feel about it is you're leaving money on the table if that's what you do. Uh, so Katie is saying my connections are my ideal customers and whomever they listen to. Thank you. Okay, so I would like to challenge you to build with those who inspire you, not just those who can hire you. Okay? Also, build with those who you can grow with. You don't, and remember this, you don't grow from your echo chamber. You don't grow from the core people that are saying the same things and doing the same things that you do, right? But you grow from the edges because growth happens outside of your comfort zone. And I'd like to challenge you to be intentional, but also be open because that's the sweet spot. That's where the magic happens. And here are some examples from my own journey. I became an author because my friends outside my industry did it first. I got over my fear of video by watching my community show up online and being inspired and invited by them to join them. I said yes to in person events, which I really don't like doing. Also, being on radio and showing up on podcasts because my friends believed in me. And I now teach and coach in different spaces, including manufacturing, which I never thought I'd ever be part of, all because relationships led the way. Katie has been instrumental in getting me to see that there's space for me in manufacturing too. And yeah, she's one of my closest friends. So, part two, where should we begin? So, you don't just need more connections. There, especially during the pandemic, there were lots of people that were just connecting willy nilly. And for a minute, I got sucked up into that. But I soon realized that I didn't need to be connecting with people in some obscure land that will never add any value to me. Um, and so I became more intentional and connecting with the right kind of connections. So that's the who. Also, I would like to challenge you to look for people who influence decisions. So even whether it's indirectly, look for people in industries that are adjacent to yours, that serve similar customers. And also look for people who will challenge your perspective and model something new because that's how you're going to grow. More exposure equals more perspective equals more possibility. So if you're exposed to more people, more strategic people, it will help you to shift your perspective. It'll help you to gain a better perspective and also open up doors for you to possibilities. So here's the where of where to begin. Um, the most One of the most important points of contact is in the comments. So show up where people respect where you respect who you respect already speaking. They're already talking there. So you need to show up in the comments. That means before you think about posting your own content, you need to go into LinkedIn and make comments on other people's posts. Um, I actually teach a rule, and this is my own rule. It also helps the LinkedIn algorithm to push your content. And that is, I believe that before I even hit post, like I can prepare my post, but before I hit that post button, I go in and engage first. That is most important because otherwise your content will not be pushed and it might even be squashed. You might only be seeing minimal numbers on your content, and that's because you're not engaging with others' content. Okay? Comment meaningfully. Don't just go to somebody's post and say, "Oh, great post. Thanks for sharing." That doesn't add any value. We want to make sure that you're adding value when you make a comment. So it's about looking at the actual post, reading it, and sharing your feelings and thoughts about it. It's adding value. There is a reason why I put a diamond here as the icon. You want to add value. So, and this earns you the right to connect later. So before you, like once you've identified the people that you want to, make connections with, add value in the comments section so that you can then say, "Hey, I loved your post about XYZ. I'd love to connect with you." And then nurture that relationship by continuing to comment on their posts. I actually I have in my mind, I have a list of people who I want to support, and I make sure that I go back to their content. Like I even go to their profile to look for their content if I don't see it in my feed. Um, you LinkedIn is gonna push whatever content it wants to push to your feed, but you can decide which content you engage with. Um, Honestly, sometimes I choose to not see posts from certain people because I don't feel that it serves me or the mission that I'm on right now. And it's okay. You can do that. I know it feels kind of weird, but you can. You're allowed. Remember, your comment is your first impression, so make it count. Okay, and here is the how on where to begin. Your messaging is what builds trust. Remember, most people that you're connected to or that you're polite stalking on LinkedIn have not had the honor of meeting you, whether it's in person or online. So you need to make sure that the messaging the words that you're using in the comment section and even in the DMs, the direct messages, it's what builds trust. So I don't know if you've seen Katie's post today, but she spoke about pitch slapping. And we spoke about pitch slapping last week, in the last session. So for those of you that don't know the term, pitch slapping is really, actually, Katie, how would you define pitch slapping?
It's someone you've never met or talked to messaging you on LinkedIn, telling you all about what they do and asking you to schedule an appointment or to book a time in their calendar.
Mhm.
It's the weirdest thing.
And do you get those?
I get them all the time.
And what do you do?
I just delete the message and then I block that person. Now I do.
And what did you do before?
I used to maybe try and answer and just say like I'm not your ideal customer or something like that. And I've had some people reach out to me to sell like competing products to try and sell me something that competes against what I do. And then I used to be like, did you even look at my profile? Do you even know what I do? If you did, you would have noticed that I'm a competitor. But now I don't even say anything. It's not even worth it because I just get probably like six or more a day. So I'm not even, I'm done with it.
Really, so many.
Yeah, I get so many.
Um, so something interesting that I would do in response to being pitch slapped, and I've done this quite a few times, is I've reached out to teach the person, because sometimes they come from a culture that teaches them that you just sell, 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 and they don't know, they're not aware that there's a better way.
Or their
Um,
boss has told them that they have to send, 25 cold messages through socials a day, you know.
yeah,
Yeah.
I actually I've had someone who would send me cold messages once a week at least. And when I scrolled back, I realized that this person had sent me about 20 or 30 messages and I hadn't responded. And so I responded one time and I said, "So, can you tell me how this method is working for you?" And I started a conversation with that person and just helped them. Um, oh, Catherine says, I hadn't even thought, sorry, I hadn't even thought about making engagement with others posts a priority with my business page. Thank you for that. Oh, you're welcome. Yes, it is a priority, not just with your business page, but with your personal page. Most of the time, people will see that you have a business page, but they engage with your personal page because they want to get to know, like, and trust you as a person, not your business. And then once they know, like, and trust you, they will buy from your business if the opportunity arises. So one more thing with regards to the how is no pitch, just human. Make sure that you don't pitch in the comments. Just be human, and think about those conversations that you have when you meet a perfect stranger on the street. Think about that. You say hello. You say how are you. You talk about the weather. Those are the kind of things that you also need to take online. Um, Somebody commented. Let's see. Katie said. Katie said. Sorry, I just received a phone call. Katie said, I just saw my intro video to Daisy the other day from May 2024. Yeah, I loved that video when you sent me a video, Katie. When we first when we first connected, it was awesome. And Rosemary says, ever since I started engaging in other people's posts, people started engaging in mine. Exactly. Exactly. That's how we want to move forward. And use the DMs to connect heart to heart, not just hustle to wallet. You want to make sure that you're connecting with that person on um, not a superficial level, right? Like you want to make sure that you're going deeper. Okay, and then the what. So we want to take the whole point of where to begin is we want to go from chat to call to client. And a lot of the time, these calls are not happening on the phone anymore, but rather on a Zoom call, right? Um, we want you to move from message to meeting only once you've built rapport. And you can only build rapport if you're messaging back and forth, right? And once you've offered value and insight, and also once there is mutual curiosity about who you are, what you do, etc. Because the conversation that's going to happen um, after you've invested this time, it will be the conversion that you want. So here are 3 actions that I'd like to challenge you. Not three, but this is part 3. Here are quick actions that I'd like to challenge you to take part in. So the first one is send a connection request to someone outside of your industry who inspires you. Okay. Number two is comment on a post from someone you wish to collaborate with. And number three, spend about 12 minutes a day doing this on repeat to begin. Um, the 12 minutes a day is something that I speak about, and the reason why it's my formula, and the reason why is because for most people getting started on social media is very challenging, because it's very much outside of their comfort zone. And I say 12 minutes a day because it's not 10, which seems a little, just very little. And it's not 15, which can seem too much sometimes, right? But when you do 12 minutes a day for 5 days, it amounts to 1 hour, which is very little in the grand scheme of things. However, when you think about it, it will do a lot for your profile, and it will do a lot for that building that trust factor that you want to have. So here's part four, which is my three-step framework, and I just want to remind you of that if you attended workshop one. If you haven't attended workshop one, here you go. This is my three-step framework, and this is how I um, teach engagement on LinkedIn, how I teach building trust on LinkedIn, how I teach social selling on LinkedIn, and it's also the way that I do it. So I believe that we need to connect, stop random connecting, and be strategic, communicate, which is build trust, no pitch slapping, and then collaborate. Look at conversations that you can have with someone that can turn into conversions. Whether it's, and I'm not just talking about conversions in sales, I'm speaking about just any collaboration that you can have, right? Um, Actually, let me ask someone. Oh, Darnell, you knew I was gonna ask you. um, can you share just quickly with some people, like how it is that you and I connected, and what are some things that we're looking to do together?
Well, we connected in a online class with someone I work with, a one-on-one, Laura Melando,
Mm-hmm.
and it was the was it the 8 week limited? Because I've been through several 8 week limited leads
Program.
class program,
Yes.
and I connected with you because you always had your video off.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but you would make comments, and they were insightful. And Laura seemed to like you, so it's a connect. I love how Laura teach and how she think, and the way if she thought you was a good person to know and stuff. I was curious about you, so I started making comments with you, and then that's how we connected. And
Mm-hmm.
then it built into something where I asked you to be a part of my 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 business strategy, and so we're looking to collaborate with you, helping me with social media stuff, and also some sales, and but you also became a really good friend.
Yes. Thank you. And that's really how I I choose to approach LinkedIn as well. Um, I want to be the same person that I am in real life. I want to be that person on LinkedIn and take that strategy over, right? I just want to say hello to some people. I see Ray, you've joined. It's been a long time, but good to have you. Daisy, thank you for joining. Hello, Sarah, and hello to you as well, Rosemary and Kenneth, Catherine as well. Good to have you all here. Thank you for being here. So, why this works why my three-step strategy works is because relationships equal revenue. LinkedIn is not just about, it's not about hard selling. It's about earning trust because conversations drive deals. Before we jump into what's next, let me stop the share because I did make a promise for to have a look at Jerome's profile. So, Jerome, are you ready?
Okay.
Okay,
I haven't updated it for a very long time,
that's fine. Um, Let me 1 second. I'm gonna open it
I
quickly.
think that's the point. Most of us don't update ours. I'm always asking Inger, ugh, I got all this stuff on my profile. What do I do? Like, yeah, update it often. That's a good question though, Inger. Is there like a limit into how much you should update your profile? Like does it look bad if you update it, 3 times in a week or something?
No.
Okay.
Uh, so let me just go back. So I was just looking at his profile, but uh, just remember, you're in the driver's seat. It's up
Right.
to you how often you post, how often you update your profile. It's your decision, really. But the one thing that I would say, not with regards to updating your profile, but with regards to sharing content, is be consistent because the people that will connect with you, it's about building their trust, right? And make sure that you're consistent. So if you decide that you're going to post every day, you need to post every day. But if you decide you're going to do it once a month, um, once a week, just be consistent because the people that are connected to you that will support your content will actually grow to understand the rhythm that you're doing it in, and then they will look for your content. I've had so many people reach out to me when I stopped sharing content at some point, because I was going through a difficult time. And it was because they grew accustomed to the fact that I would post, I'm showing up consistently. They know who I am, and it's part of that know, like, and trust factor. Okay, so we don't have too much time. I just want to jump in and um, talk about your profile quickly, Jerome, before we move into the next steps. So, is this your profile? You're
I'm
on
on
mute.
mute. Yeah, that's my profile. A younger
Okay,
me.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, that was the first question that I had, right? Your profile picture needs to look like you, the you of today. Um,
It's not too much. That's not too
It
bad.
looks like him
uh,
a
I
little.
like I was confused. Like I wasn't sure if that was you. Only
Yeah,
reason why
maybe 10 years ago. Yeah.
The
Okay.
only reason why I knew was because you had requested to connect with me. That's how I knew that it was
Yeah,
you. And of course, I
I
see
did do that.
M and I on there. So,
Yeah.
okay. So, looking at your profile, of course, like your banner picture, you're missing out on that and you're leaving money on the table because, this is a piece of real estate that you can convey to those that are looking at your profile. Um, what you do and how you can add value for them. So your banner picture needs to be updated, and then your profile picture as well. Uh, if you remember what I spoke about last time, 2 weeks ago at workshop one, your headline doesn't just have to be your job description or
Mm.
your title, right? So you need to make an update there as well.
Okay.
Um, And I think you can build your connections more just based off of the people that you've interacted with, people that you've sold to, etc. Um, at least to about 500.
Okay.
Uh, okay, so let's look at your about. So your about section, um, What do you think of your about section?
I haven't read through it for a while.
Okay, let me read it. Expert at helping businesses with their lead generation, prospecting, and business development. Software, SaaS. Industry Select is the premier state and national database subscription service with the most up to date and accurate information on every manufacturing location in the US. Every industrial company on Industry Select is verified twice a year for accuracy, and we have helped thousands of companies grow their businesses through the easy to navigate online database. Feel free to reach out for a free demo and weekly webinars at jhenderson at mni.net. So, what do you think?
I mean, I guess it's. I don't know. What do you think?
What do
That's a lot about M&I.
Yeah, it's about not really about me. I guess it's more of yeah, more of a company driven.
It's
Yeah.
more pitch slap to me. More.
Sort of like a pitch slap, because if somebody goes to read it, that's all
Right.
they read. It's M&I.
Yeah.
You can make it a little bit more engaging. You can make it more personal so that you can share about you, like, you know, things that you like, why you're a salesman for M&I. What is the reason? What drives you really? Because when I go to somebody's profile, that's what I want to see. I want to see who it is that I'm connecting with, right? Um, okay.
No, it makes sense.
So you're not. What I can see on here is that you're not active
No.
on LinkedIn. Let me see. Okay, so you've only ever posted one time. So when somebody is looking for what M&I offers and they go to your profile, they see that you've posted 1 month ago. They're not going to know whether you're active or not, and
Right.
they won't really have confidence in whether you will be consistent to reach out to them. And also, like when you think about a salesperson, you build relationships. So think about what you do in person or on the phone, and then duplicate that. Strive to duplicate that online on LinkedIn. And like I said, you're in the driver's seat. You decide how much, but at the same time, being consistent, being active on there just helps you build that know, like, and trust factor. Okay.
Okay.
Um, and then I look at your experience. I would like to say, please just fill out a little bit more so that people can understand a bit more about, um, what you do. Product and advertising sales executive, industry select, and industry net. That's all that it says, but it's not clear. So think about, when you think about your profile, think about your ideal client and what they would like to see. It's about knowing your audience, right? So that you can speak directly to them, because this is their first interaction with you. If they're looking for M&I, they'll see that you work there, so they might click on your profile, and this is what they're gonna see. But this is not what you want them to see. You want them to see someone who knows what they're talking about, who knows their product really well, right? So think about that, and then think about how you can make sure that that comes across when somebody's looking at your profile. Okay. So I see you have some things flushed out here for renewal by Anderson. You have it done for Lake Point as well, etc. So just make sure that you do that for M&I. Uh, good. You have some education there. You have your skills listed. That's good. And then you have, okay, so you've received some recommendations. That's good. The only thing that I would say is, you know, it's the last one was done in 2013. So you can actually go and request a recommendation from people that you've worked with, like, your peers. And you can also request recommendations from clients that you've served so that you can flush out some more of your profile. And then also, I would recommend that you give some recommendations as well, because it just reflects on who you are and allowing people to get to know, like, and trust you. Okay.
Okay.
Um, and also, feel free to follow certain companies that you're interested in. LinkedIn and ADP are good, but think about also, like, do you like Tony Robbins? Would you follow him on LinkedIn? Gary Vaynerchuk is somebody that speaks a lot about sales. Maybe that's somebody that you could follow as well. Just think about your interests, and it doesn't just have to be work related. If you like fishing, there are fishing companies on LinkedIn that you can follow, because then it adds interest, and it allows people to know that you like fishing, and then maybe they'll connect with you because of that, right? Katie talks about loving gems. She talks about road trips in the US, and people have connected with her because of that. For me, I share about my kids. I honestly, there are many people who followed me that had no idea about what I do, because they know, like, and trust me as a person because of what I've been sharing
Yeah.
on LinkedIn. You know, and it's really about that. You want that to be, like, think about if you walk into a store and there are two salespeople there. One is smiling at you and saying, hello, how are you? How's the weather? How are you enjoying the weather today, or whatever? And then there's another person that's just looking at you with a stern face. Who are you going to go to? I don't know about you, but I will go to the smiling face every day,
Hmm.
right? And so when you flush out your LinkedIn profile, when you build it out, you're smiling at the people that are visiting your profile. Uh, okay, so I'm going to stop this share. I want to look at the comments quickly and see what people are saying, if there are any questions.
Thank you for the advice, Ingrid.
It's my pleasure, Jerome, and reach out if you need more help. I'm happy to help.
Thanks.
You're
I took a
welcome.
ton of notes just off of the feedback she gave you, things that I need to do.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, I think Catherine did too. See the
yeah.
guilt. I think it's so sad when like Anchor's best friends have this worst profiles on LinkedIn.
But that means that does it mean that I'm not sharing with you?
It just means that we haven't done the work to make the changes. That's all.
It's Inger's fault. It's all Inger's fault.
You just
I
want her
have
to do
done
it for you.
I have done nothing wrong. It's all Inger's fault or my husband's, depending on what it was.
Yeah. Oh my word. Okay, let me just go back and read some comments. Um, okay, so Katie says, honestly, my best friends are on LinkedIn. They know me better than my family and local friends. Yeah. And that's because, like, we go, it's kind of crazy, but you go beyond what's the physical bin. You cannot meet physically, right? Like, and you go deeper.
Yeah.
Catherine says, I'm an extroverted extrovert that collects stray introverts, whether they want the engagement or not. Oh, Lord. Katie says, sorry, I just skipped over it. I used to post the top industries every Monday and then stopped, and then people started asking if I left M&I. Yeah.
Yep.
Because we started expecting that. And I love to see that food was always in the top 5.
For America, no shock, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Ray just commented, I like those posts too.
Yeah.
Well, gosh darn.
Exactly.
I need
Yes.
to go
So
back to making them.
yes, you do. Katie says, I love connecting industrial buyers and sellers, Jerome. We can help each other. Yes, you are an expert relationship builder, Jerome. And
Yeah.
it's like I haven't interacted with you much, but that's what I hear from Katie when she talks about you. So I believe it.
Thank you, Katie.
Not picking favorites or anything, but Jerome's my favorite.
Oh, Lord. Sarah says, yes, I just use it to redo my headline under my profile. Yes, you can use AI for that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sarah, she says this information is also helpful.
Yeah.
Uh, Catherine says that explains why everyone always thinks I'm in charge at an event or store or come to me to ask directions at it. Yes, because you make eye contact with them. Um, yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
Rosemary says your social media profile is your digital handshake. So
Yeah.
make your profile stand out because the world needs to see you, not scroll past you.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes, yes. I like that.
That's exactly what we're that's the point of what I'm trying to teach here is, we the world needs you. And so you need to be a little bit louder about who you are and what you have to offer. Ray Ziganto and I, we've never had a one-on-one with one another. We're connected on LinkedIn. And but I know a lot about him, especially his mustache. Hi Ray.
Never met Ray at all, but I would recognize him anywhere if I saw him. I'd be like, "Are you Ray?" For sure.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for being here.
Oh, my pleasure. Katie's email got me with. I saw her post this morning on LinkedIn, and she had me at pitch slapping, and I'm like, I've got to dig into this, and we hadn't connected in so long, and I'm thrilled. I learned so much in the short time I've been here. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. I'd love to reconnect sometime when you have time. So let's do that.
Please look forward to it as well.
Thank you. Thank you. So let me ask, does anybody have any questions based on what I've shared and also what I've done when I assessed Jerome's profile?
I had one question. I don't know if you saw it. I was wondering if the comment before you make a post also applies to business profiles. So, like,
Uh,
should we be commenting on stuff before we make our publish our post for the day or whatever?
yes.
Okay.
Because LinkedIn's algorithm, of course, it's always changing, but it squashes posts if we don't do that. The whole point of LinkedIn is to be LinkedIn. I know, mind blowing, right? But yeah, we need to link in with one another, and the way that you do that is through interaction, not just coming on there and using it as a marketing place to just share your thoughts and what you do, but going on to LinkedIn to add value and to build that KLT, as I mentioned, that know, like, and trust factor. Thank you. Um, Yes. So Rosemary just made a comment. She says, I noticed something recently when I changed my picture. Someone reached out immediately and complimented it. I will say that from your profile pic to your last post speaks a lot about who you are. Yeah. Thank
Mhm.
you. That's true. Any other questions before I jump into the last bit?
I
Any?
have a question for you. So, learned a lot of new things. Some things are not entirely new either, just over my years of using LinkedIn. But I'm newer to our industry of, so we're a warehouse and transportation. I came from staffing 12 years, but was professional office staffing. We did some light industrial adjacent roles. But um, what about trying to engage with the people I'm reaching out to, since I'm not necessarily a subject matter expert, but your pitch slapping, I've never heard that before, but That's how I feel sometimes is that and I probably am. Whereas, staffing, I had a lot of relationships here locally, and now I'm selling on a national level. How do I embrace my newness, or how do I engage with those folks in a way that they'll want to start a conversation?
Um, so something. Yes. So, what did you want to add something?
Well, no, no. I know it's a lot to, it's a loaded question probably for this topic.
Okay, that's okay. I will say that I've attended networking meetings. I've attended workshops that has absolutely nothing to do with what I do, and people comment on the way that I comment. And the way that I comment is really like I'm looking at that person's post and I'm thinking, how can I add value to them? Whether it is, because I honestly, like, I'm looking at the post, I'm assessing the post, and then I'm adding value based on the post and also based on my relationship with the person, right? So it's very personal. So if I'm commenting on Daisy's post, she and I call each other sisters, so I say sis, right? But I'm commenting so that I make sure that I'm interacting with their post. And when it comes to you, like, yes, you're in a new space, but go back and look at who are the people that inspire you, who are those people that will help you to grow outside of your comfort zone, because you don't want to stay in your echo chamber. You need to move towards the edges, because growth does not happen in the comfort zone. So yes, like, you're
Mm-hmm.
coming from a different place, but that's a good thing. Now you get to look at who are the people that you want to build with. And then before you reach out to them, before you connect with them, start adding value in the comments. Honestly, you know what happens to me? I I look at some people that are brand new to my on my periphery, and I start adding value in their comments, and they reach out to me and they ask me, "Hey, thank you for your comment. By the way, what do you do? Can we connect? Can we have a meeting?" That's what you want to do. Like, you want to inspire people to do that, right? Because then it's no longer you pitch slapping anybody, asking you, "Hey, what do you do? Maybe I can work with you." And the thing is, like, be open. Be absolutely open, because it's not always about working with those specific people, but sometimes they might have a sister that you absolutely have no idea that they have, that works in your industry, that may want to buy your product or may want to buy your service, right? So just be open and comment and interact genuinely with authenticity. Make sure that the person that you are in person is the person that you take online as well, because if people don't see that authenticity, they'll shy away from you as well.
Thank you. Yeah, I've done a really good job connecting with people in the industry. Probably grown maybe 500 contacts just in 6 months, but um, being able to really kind of, yeah, that personable selling piece is a challenge. So I will start to follow your process. Thank you.
You're welcome. And think about it like this: like, how do you, you're standing in the grocery line and you
Hmm.
start talking to the next person, right? Like, that's the interaction that you want to have, even online. That's what you want.
Okay.
Thank you, Sarah, and please, let's connect. Send me a connection request so that we can be friends. Thank you. Rosemary, I see that you have a question.
Hey, it's not really a question. It's more of a contribution to the question she asked, and Miss Sarah asked, how she can, connect with someone on a deeper level in order to seal out the sales. Well, as a virtual assistant that I am, there is one thing I always do. Maybe when I go to someone's profile and see that their profile is kind of needs some polishing and I want to do the job, what I do is I connect with somebody, with the person. If it's a person that always posts or something like that, I make sure I comment. I add value to them because trust me, people doesn't connect with someone that doesn't add value to them. If you don't have anything to offer, nobody will connect with you. So what I always do is I go to their post, I comment. One of the last job I did, I designed a wall, a door hanger for someone. So how did it happen? We didn't know from anywhere. We didn't know from Adams. I just connected. He just connected. He saw my tagline because what I use on my profile on LinkedIn was I'm a bag of positivity. So whoever that sees that will always want to connect with me. I noticed that. So he connected with me based on that. And we built relationship first. We connected first. We didn't talk about any form of sales. We
Yeah.
just connected. From LinkedIn, we went to WhatsApp. So
Yes.
from there, uh, while one day while while we are chatting or something like that, I share some of what I do. He was like,
Accurate.
"Wow, can you do this?" I said, "Yes, I can do it." That is how I That is how I seal that deal. So first build that connection. It matters a lot, and you will see the deal. Trust me. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Rosemary. That's awesome. Exactly. The other thing that I often speak about is when it comes to your tagline or your headline that's underneath your picture, don't just put your job title. Add some things that are personal to you as well. That's so, so very important. Just one last thing. Let me see. I just want to go back to um, my presentation. Last bit. Okay. So, what's next? What's next? Start to connect, communicate, and collaborate on LinkedIn. And please, I'll drop the link in the comments as well. But I'd like you to please provide feedback on this workshop. I'd love to hear your experience with regards to it. And if you'd like to work with me, I offer more intensive workshops for teams to help them build relationship first outreach strategies. And then I also refine their positioning and content plan and create a playbook to convert conversations into clients. Your homework, everybody, is to have fun with it and reach out if you need help. Thanks for your attention. Let's connect, communicate, and collaborate on LinkedIn. This workshop was brought to you by We Got This Consulting and Coaching. Thank you so much, Katie.
Thank you, Inger, so
Thank
much for
you.
another lesson on LinkedIn. We really appreciate it. Very enlightening.